Shalom, shalom, peace, peace. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you for coming again. This is for the 10th commandment class. So we're going to dissect the 10th commandment. We're going to take a closer look and try to understand the depth of this commandment in order to apply it to our lives and walk in the commandments, live in the commandments rather than just obeying a surface. So this commandment is actually is kind of already a deep topic, or a deep commandment, so to speak, because the aspect of covetousness does not necessarily begin in the outward. Thou shalt not kill. None of these commandments begin on an outward, but one of the things that allowed me to begin studying the depth of the commandments, how the principles of the commandments are actually what makes up a commandment rather than just what it says, is from this commandment. Because it says thou shalt not covet, it was emphasizing, you know specifically on the inside part of man, the heart of man, the desires of man, the will of man. And this is what made me look at all the commandments and study all the commandments to see if they all have the same type of principle. And I realized that it actually does. So with that being said, let's look at this 10th commandment. Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. I'm going to see if I can share my screen so that way we could look at it together. All right. So the 10th commandment is thou shalt not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, manservant, maidservant, ox, ass, nor anything that is your neighbor's. So thou shalt not covet anything. Let's look at what this word covet is in the Hebrew. H2530. It is the word chamad, which means to delight in, to beloved, to desire greatly in your heart. Something that's precious is usually translated also as lust, because it's a evil desire. So the word does the lust. I'm just gonna give people a understanding. The word lust is a neutral word, just like the word covet, right? So it says don't cover anything that belongs to your neighbor, right? But when you covet, it says covet the best things, to desire the fruits of the ruach. Those things don't belong to your neighbor. Those things your neighbor manifests. So when you look at your neighbor and you admire certain spiritual things, it's good to admire the spiritual things. It's not good to desire to believe that it comes from your neighbor. It's not good to think that it originates with your neighbor, but it is good to approach Yah and ask him for the things that you see in his people. That's a good thing. But the word covet can also be an emphasis on desiring something that doesn't belong to you and not being content with what you have. Thy neighbor's house, thy neighbor's wife, looking at your neighbor's wife like you want her specifically. And it's not necessarily meaning that you want to take their things, but you see your neighbor's car, you go get the same car. You see your neighbor's house, you want to go get the same house. You're not content with the things that Yah gives you, with the things that Yah allows for you to have. Messiah made a certain parable. He says, there was a parable of the talents, and he gave one person 10 talents, he gave one person 5 talents, and he gave one person 1 talent. Now, this parable is not really focusing on covetousness, but slothfulness and wickedness, slothfulness and wickedness. But if you look at it, he gave one 10 talents, he gave one 5 talents, he gave one 1 talent. Covetousness is desiring 10 talents instead of the amount of talents that Yah gave you. Desiring a certain amount of talents rather than what Yah gave you. So this is what Yah calls wicked. This is what Yah calls breaking his command. So when we look at this principle a little bit more. We're going to see if we could get a little bit more clarity in other locations of the Bible. Let's go to Psalms chapter 10. Psalms chapter 10, looking at verse 3. It says, "For the wicked boasts of his heart's desire, and bless the covetous, whom yahuah despises." So you see that? The wicked boasts of his heart's desire and bless the covetous. So meaning like wicked people support other wicked practices. So let's say two covetous people, one covetous person will boast about the greed in their heart, and they will also esteem another person who is also covetous as well. You see this all the time. They call it success, they call it excellence. Everybody looks the same, everybody dressed the same, everybody pursues the same careers, the same jobs, the same positions, and they call the same things excellent. They go to the same colleges, they study the same subjects. Everybody is basically blessing each other's covetousness for the same earthly things. People are thinking that they're a failure because they don't have the things that other people have. So the definition of success is based off of what another person has, and that they try to attain what that person has. This is wickedness. This is boastful of wicked desires. This is a horrible direction of where the mind of a of a believer is supposed to be. So let's look at a few more verses. Let's go to Proverbs. We're not going to take too long on this one because I think it's self-explanatory, but I just want to give a refresher because it's still, we tend to, like I said in the last couple of videos, we tend to allow these commandments to be attached to one specific attribute when there's many different attributes of breaking these commandments. It doesn't always look the same. So when you look at Proverbs chapter 28, verse 16, it says, the ruler that wants understanding is also a great oppressor. But he that hates covetousness shall prolong his days. So the ruler that wants understanding is also a great oppressor. You notice that all the time. The answers, the wisdom, the understanding is usually what many of these kings lack. The decisions that they make reflect that. When you look at all the wicked kings that was in Israel, you'll see that the decisions that they made based off of their covetousness, and it definitely revealed their lack of wisdom, their lack of understanding, their lack of righteousness, their lack of judgment. But those who despise covetousness, those who are content in their ways, usually make righteous decisions, and in turn is blessed by Yah. They also stay out of trouble, and usually the wicked puts themselves in more trouble. The covetous puts themselves in more trouble because of their greed. Let's go to the book of Luke real quick. Luke chapter 12. Let's say verse 15? Verse 15, right? So it says, he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness. For a man's life consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesses. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of things that he possesses. What is success to you? If you believe that success is the ability to obtain an abundance of things, you don't even have life. It just says a man's life does not consist in the abundance of things. You want to see what the word consist means? The word consists, profits. A man's life is not profited. It's not profited. It's not remain. It does not remain. It's not a necessity. Let's look at this verse again with that in mind. Beware of covetousness. A man's life consists not, it profits not, it does not profit in the abundance of the things which he possesses. So look at the parable that he makes. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully, meaning that he was blessed by the earth richly with an abundance. He thought in himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room to put the extra fruit, the extra abundance. He said, this is what I'll do. I will pull down my barns and then I'll build bigger ones. And there I will put everything that I possess. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have much goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, relax, be comfortable. Don't worry. Let tomorrow be sure. Let today make sure tomorrow. Eat, drink, be merry. Look at what it says. Elohim said to him, you fool, this night your soul is required of you. He also said tomorrow is not promised, guys. Especially if we got abundance. Why are we trying to hold on to things that we can't even use? Why did Yah give you that abundance in the first place? Everything that Yah gives us is for the benefit of his people. Why do you think he gave you an abundance? So you can build bigger wallet, get a bigger bank to hold all of the things that you have? We're not understanding. It says, you fool, this night your soul is required of you. Then who is going to receive those things which you have provided? Then who's going to get those things? So is he that lays up treasure for himself and is not rich towards Elohim. You want to boast in your careers. You want to boast in your pursuits. You want to boast in your education. But none of those things that's not centered around Yah, not centered around his word, not centered around his commandments, his principles, his statutes, his judgments, his people, his kingdom. All of those things is for naught. It's for no reason. It's only by Yah's mercy that Yah allows tomorrow to come to all those who waste their years studying crap that does not even avail to the furthering of Yah's kingdom, to the furthering of his word, to the furthering of the understanding of his commandments. You understand? Let's look at one more verse and then we're gonna end it here. And I hope that everybody self-reflects and look at the commandments a little bit more deeper as you study. So Hebrews chapter 13, looking at verse 5 and 6. Look at what it says. Let your conversation or your conduct be without covetousness. Be content with such things as you have. For he saith, I will never leave you nor forsake you. You know, why would you worry about things that you don't have if you have Yah, if you have his son? The one that is the most important is the one saying that you have me. I'm your inheritance. You're mine. So why be covetous for earthly materials when yahuah can provide all of the things, all of the materials of this earth for you? Look at what he says. So that we may boldly say, the master, or yahuah, is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do to me. So many people are afraid of getting fired. So many people are afraid of not measuring up. So many people are afraid of being looked at a certain way because they have not achieved the things that everyone else has achieved. And this is the enemy's desire, to break you down and to cause you to become covetous of the things that you don't even need, the things that's not even profitable or beneficial to your life. You know, so examine yourself. See if you're being covetous. See if you have that covetous mindset. where you desire the things that Yah is not telling you to desire. When you desire the things that Yah does not offer, and you despise or you take lightly the things that Yah does offer, that you chase gold and rubies instead of wisdom and understanding, which is worth far beyond rubies and gold. So take your time with Yah's commandments. Allow his commandments to resonate with you in understanding of how you apply it to every part of your life, and live in the commandments. Praise Yah. I hope that you guys were edified and blessed. Please contact us if you have any questions about anything, any video suggestions. We're willing to take. And I'll see you in the next class. Shalom, everyone. Shalom, shalom. Thank you guys for joining our study today. I hope that it was edifying. And if you want to support this ministry, you can support us on 4alc.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube page. Click the like button and the notification bell. I hope to see you guys on the next study. Shalom, guys.